students. Today I am going to discuss Resources and Development, Social Science Geography, Class 8, Chapter 2. And the chapter name is Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. Here, land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife all are natural renewable resources. It's called renewable resources because it can be renewed day by day. At first, I give an example. You and your friend are stay in two different parts of the country and live very different lives. This difference is because of the differences in the quality of land, soil, water, natural vegetation, animals, and the uses of technology. The availability of such resources is the main reason places differ from each other. Here, land is a most important natural renewable resource. It supports natural vegetation, wildlife, human life, economic activities, transport and communication also. It covers only about 30% of the total area of the Earth's surface, and remaining 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. There are 90% of the world population occupies only 30% of the land area, and 10% of the population lived 70% of the land area is either sparsely populated or uninhabited. The uneven distribution of population in different parts of the world is mainly due to different characteristics of land and also climate. The rough topography or landform, steep slopes of the mountains, low-lying areas where water is low, desert areas and thick forested areas are normally sparsely or low populated or uninhabited. Here plains and river valleys like Ganga River Valley, Indus River Valley, Brahmaputra River Valley, etc. offer suitable land for agriculture, and these are the densely populated of the world. Land use. Land is used for different purposes such as agriculture, forestry, mining activity, building houses, roads and industries, etc. This is commonly termed as land use. The use of land is determined both by physical factors like topography, climate, soil, minerals and availability of water, and as well as human factors like population density, technological capability, culture and tradition, etc. In India, there are 57% land area is cropland or agricultural land. 4% is pasture or grazing land where we feed our domestic animals. 22% is forest and it is much lower than the desired forest area. And 17% land is used for other purposes. On the basis of ownership, land can be classified into two types. Number 1, private land, and number 2, community land. Private land is owned by individual person, and this is known as individual resource. Example, my own houses, ponds, wells, private vehicles, etc. Number 2, community land is owned by all the members of the community for common uses like collection of fodder, fruits or medical herbs, etc. And these community lands are also called common property resources. Example, public parks, picnic spot, playground, school, etc. Reason of land degradation and conservation of land use resources. People and their demands are ever growing, but the availability of land is limited. The quality of land also differs from place to place. People started encroaching the common lands to build up commercial areas, housing complexes in the urban areas, and to expand the agricultural land in the rural areas or village areas. Today, the vast changes in the land use pattern also reflect the cultural changes in our society. Major causes of changes of the land use patterns are: number one, land degradation. It means the land which is unfit for cultivation. It is one of the main reasons. Number two, landslide. When the mass movement of rock mud soils are down to a slope is called landslide. Its maximum occur in the hilly or mountain areas. Number three, soil erosion, and number four is desertification. Here, desertification means the process by which fertile land becomes desert and it is inappropriate for agriculture. Growing population and their ever-growing demand has led to a large-scale destruction of forest cover and arable or fertile land and has created a fear of losing these natural resources. Therefore, the present rate of degradation of land must be checked. Here, land conservation means to use the land resources carefully without wastage. The following conservation methods are: afforestation or plant the trees. Land reclamation or recovery means degraded land should be recovered and use it for different purposes. Number three, minimum use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides in the agricultural fields. Number four, controlling overgrazing. And last one is degraded land must be checked. Here are some pictures of deforestation, landslide, land degradation and soil erosion. Next, soil resource. The uppermost thin layer of the earth crust is known as soil, and it is most important renewable natural resource, and it is also the medium of plant growth and support different types of living organisms. Soil is closely linked to the land. Soil takes hundreds to millions of years to make just 1 centimeter of soil. Soil is made up of organic matter, minerals, and weathered rocks found on the earth. Here we see the picture. It is a soil profile. Topsoil with humus and vegetation where plant growth. Here humus means decompose of dead plants and animals, and it is important for plant growth. Second layer is subsoil with sand, silt and clay. Third part is weather rock material. Here weather rock material means breaking and decay of rocks by the climatic, human, plants and animals activity. And last one is parent rock. It means on where the soil is formed. Like basalt is a parent rock of black soil. Factors of soil formation. The major factors of soil formation are: number one, parent rock; number two, climatic condition; number three, topography or relief or landform; number four, organic materials; and number five, time. Parent rocks determine the color, texture, chemical properties, and mineral contents. Temperature and rainfall are included in climatic factors which affecting the soil formation. Topography or relief or landform determine the accumulation of soil. Organic materials like dead plants, animals, and microorganisms provide humus to the soil, and it is important for the growth of plant. And last one is time, which determines the thickness of the soil profile, because longer the time for soil formation, more deeper in the soil layer. Here we see the picture. It's collected from the book Factors of Soil Formation. Degradation of soil. What is soil erosion? The removal of the top soil cover and its washing down is described as soil erosion. Both human and natural factors can lead to degradation of soils. Soil erosion and depletion are the major threat to soil as resource, and major factors which lead to soil degradation are: number one, deforestation, because we cut the trees continuously for the purpose of urbanization and industrialization. Number two is overgrazing. Number three, overuse of chemical fertilizer and pesticide in the agricultural fields, which eroded the soil. Number four, rainwash or sheet erosion. Number five, landslide in the mountain areas. And last one is floods. Conservation of soil. Soil conservation is the prevention of loss of the soil from erosion. Some methods of soil conservation are: number one is contour plugging or farming. In hilly areas, plugging or cultivation along the contour lines can reduce the flow of water down the slope and reduce the soil erosion. Number two, trace cultivation or trace farming. In hilly areas, steps can be cut out on the slopes and making trace or step, and they reduce surface runoff and soil erosion. Number three, shelter belts. In desert and coastal areas, trees are planted in rows, and it restricts the force of wind and restrict the soil erosion. Number four, intercropping. Different crops are grown in alternate rows and are shown at different times to protect the soil from rainwash. Number five, rock dam. Here, rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of water, and this prevents the soil loss. Number six, mulching and contour barriers. Here, mulching means when the bare ground or blank ground between the plant is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw or grasses, and it helps to retain soil moisture. Contour barriers means when stones, grass, soil are used to build barriers along contours. Trenches are made in front of the barriers to collect water, and it is also an effective method of soil conservation. And last one is afforestation. Controlling the overgrazing, construction and mining activities are helpful to conservation of soil. Here we see some pictures of contour plugging in the hilly areas, trace farming also in hilly areas, shelter belts, it's found in coastal or desert areas which break the force of the wind, rock dam, mulching and intercropping. Water resource. Water is a vital renewable natural resource. 3/4 or 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, so it is therefore appropriately called the water planet. Even today, the oceans cover 2/3 or 70% of the Earth's surface and support a rich variety of plants and animal life. The ocean and seas cover about 97.3% of the water of the Earth's surface out of 100% water of the world. This water is maximum saline and not fit for human consumption and cultivation. Fresh water accounts for only about 2.7%, and maximum fresh water occurs as ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland and mountain regions, and due to their location they are inaccessible. So there are 2.7% fresh waters are inaccessible which cannot be used. Only 1% out of 100% of fresh water is available and fit for human being use and cultivation. And it is found as groundwater, surface water, river and lakes, and also water vapor in the atmosphere. What is water cycle? Fresh water is therefore the most precious substance on the earth. Water can neither be added or nor subtracted from the earth. Its total volume remains constant and it is in constant motion. When the water cycling through the oceans, the air, the land and back again through the processes of evaporation, precipitation like rainfall, snowfall and hailstorm, and runoff or surface runoff, this total process is known as water cycle. It is an important question in this chapter. What is water cycle? Here we see the pictures of water cycle. Importance and uses of water resources. Water is a unique liquid because there is no alternative for it, and it is essential or important for all forms of life. Humans use huge amount of water not only for drinking and washing but also in the process of production. Humans use water for various purposes like domestic purposes, agricultural purposes, industrial purposes and generating of electricity. The major factor to shortage of fresh water are: number one, increasing population. It is the most important factor to shortage of fresh water. Number two, rising demands for food. Number three, increasing urbanization. Number four, rising standards of living. Number five, due to global warming, drying up of fresh water sources. And number six is water pollution. An average urban Indians use about 150 liters of water every day. And do you know, Amereli city in Saurashtra region with a population of 1.25 lakhs is completely dependent on purchasing water from the nearby talukas or villages. Here are some pictures of increasing population, increasing urbanization, drying up of fresh water. Is the pictures of Luni River and water pollution, which are major factor to shortage of fresh water. Now discuss conservation of water resources. Water is a renewable natural resource, we all know, but its overuse and pollution make it unfit for use. There are some methods of water conservation are: number one, forest and other vegetation cover slow the surface runoff and replenish underground water. So we need to grow the maximum trees. Number two, rooftop rainwater harvesting is necessary. Number three, the canals used for agricultural field should be properly lined to minimize losses by water seepage. Number four, in dry regions with high rate of evaporation, drip or trickle irrigation system. Here drip or trickle irrigation system means drop by drop water on the plant roots. It is very useful method. And number five, control the discharge of untreated sewage, agricultural chemicals and industrial waste in the water bodies. Here you see the picture of drip or trickle irrigation system, where drop by drop water provide on the roots of the plants and it reduces the water loss. Natural vegetation and wildlife resources. Natural vegetation and wildlife are important resources because they provide us with many different products that we use in our day-to-day life. Natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in the narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, means land surface, hydrosphere, means water, and atmosphere, means air, that we call biosphere. In the biosphere, living beings are interrelated and interdependent on each other for survival. This life-supporting system is known as ecosystem. It is an important question. What is biosphere and ecosystem? Importance of natural vegetation. Natural vegetation provides us with timber and gives shelter to animals. We get oxygen that needs we breathe, protects soil which is essential for growing crops, help in shortage of underground water, and they give us fruit, nuts, turpentine oil, gum, medicinal plants, and also the paper. Wildlife includes animals, birds, insects, as well as the aquatic life forms. Importance of wildlife. They provide us milk, egg, meat, skin, and wool. Number 2, insects like bees provide us honey and help in pollination. Pollination means transfer of pollen from one plant to another plant of flowers. The birds feed on insects and act as decomposer as well. Fishes provide us nutrients, etc. Here we see the pictures of natural vegetation and wildlife. Distribution of natural vegetation. The growth of vegetation depends primarily on temperature, rainfall, moisture, soil, and landforms. The major vegetation types of the world are grouped as forest, grassland, scrubs, and tundra. In areas of heavy rainfall, huge trees may grow. The forests are thus associated with areas having abundant water supply. As the amount of moisture decreases, the size of trees and their density reduces. Short trees and grasses grow in the regions of moderate rainfall, forming the grassland of the world. Thorny bushes and scrubs grow in dry areas of low rainfall. In such areas, plants have deep roots and leaves with thorny and waxy surface reduce loss of moisture through transpiration. And tundra vegetation of cold polar region comprise of mosses and lichens. Depending on when they shed or loosen or remove their leaves, forests are broadly classified into two types. Number 1, evergreen forest, and number 2, deciduous forest. Here we see the picture. Left one is evergreen forest and right one is deciduous forest. Evergreen forest and deciduous forest. Evergreen forests are found in regions which experience tropical climate with high temperature and rainfall throughout the year. Other hand, deciduous forests are found in regions which experience mild, rainy, and dry season. Evergreen forests do not shed or lose or remove their leaves in any season of the year, but deciduous forests shed or lose or remove their leaves once a year. Their height more than 60 meters, and some evergreen forest trees are rosewood, ironwood, mahogany, etc. They are less than 50 meters in height, and some deciduous forest trees are sal, teak, segun, etc. Conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation and wildlife are our wealth, but change of climate and human interference can cause the loss of natural habitats for the plants and animals. Some causes are: number 1, deforestation, because we cut the trees continuously now a time. Number 2, soil erosion, constructional activities, forest fires, tsunami, and landslide in mountain areas are some of the human and natural factors which accelerate the process of extinction of these resources. Number 2, poaching or illegal hunting is another cause which results in a sharp decline in the number of particular species. The animals are poached for illegal trade of skin, nails, teeth, horns, as well as feathers. Some of these animals are tiger, elephant, lion, deer, rhino, peacocks, etc. are illegally hunting. Conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation and wildlife can be conserved by increasing awareness. Some conserving methods are: number 1, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves are made to protect our natural vegetation and wildlife. Here, national park, wildlife sanctuaries and biosphere reserves means a natural area where different species of vulnerable plants and animals are protected. Number 2, conservation of lakes, wetland, ponds are necessary to save the precious resource from depletion. Number 3, passes new law against the cut of trees and trade or illegal killing of birds and animals. In India, killing of tigers, lions, deers, peacocks and other some species are illegal. Number 4, awareness programs like social forestry and Bono Mahotsav should be encouraged at the regional and community level. Here, social forestry and Bono Mahotsav means arrange a program by the society or school students to plant the trees in the degraded or deforested areas. Conservation of plants and animals is a moral duty of every citizen in a country. Here we see the picture. The top picture is the national park in different parts of India. First one is Betla National Park in Jharkhand, which is protected for tiger. Number 2 is Kaziranga National Park in Assam, which is famous for one-horn rhino. And number 3 is Sundarban National Park in West Bengal, which is famous for Royal Bengal tiger. Next 2 is social forestry and Bono Mahotsav pictures. And last one is rooftop rainwater harvesting system. Some keynotes. What is weathering? When the rocks are breaking and decay by the temperature changes, frost action, plants, animals and human activity is called weathering. In India, soils could be 6 types: alluvial soil, black soil, laterite soil, red and yellow soil, desertic soil and mountainous soil. But alluvial soil is maximum found in India and it is more fertile soil. Number 3, rainwater harvesting system. It is the process of collecting rainwater from the rooftops and directing it to an appropriate location where it is stored for future use. In dry areas like Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu, maximum rooftop rainwater harvesting system is practiced. National park and biosphere are a natural area where different kinds of vulnerable or endangered plants and animals are protected. Kaziranga, Betla, Sundarban is an example of national park. And last one is CITES. The full form of CITES is the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. It has been established that lists several species of animals and birds in which trade is prohibited. It is an international agreement between governments. It aims to ensure that international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants does not threaten their survival. Roughly 5,000 species of animals and 28,000 species of plants are protected. Bears, dolphins, corals, orchids, and some other species are protected here. Thank you.